Hey, good morning. Hobo Mackie here. Uh, let's see, 8 o'clock, 8:15. I've been walking for maybe 30 minutes. I woke up this morning. It was a little cold, I guess, and I didn't have a fire going or nothing. No jacket, and I didn't want to just stay rolled up in my blanket. So the best option is just to get up, throw all your shit in the backpack, and go. Just start walking because then you naturally warm up that way. I think it's a great way to warm up. It don't take long, and next thing you know, 15 minutes later, you're feeling pretty good. There's some water over here, a little lake, pond, whatever it is. I haven't seen much water yet, and speaking of, I am flat out of water. I peed yellow this morning, so I'm definitely a bit dehydrated. Uh, I just crossed over Highway 19 last night. Um, so I've got a nice little stretch through the wilderness here to Highway 40, I believe, and then I'll be up by Juniper Springs. I'm honestly not sure where I'm going to find water, but partly the reason why I'm looking at that pond is because I might have to straight up drink some water out the woods here. I don't have any purification tablets, water filter, pot to boil water in. I don't have anything. So this might be one of them times where I would take a chance and just drink. The water out here is definitely fairly clean and pristine. I mean, there's springs all over the place out here. Um, you got Alexander Springs, Juniper Springs. Okay, those are the only two I know, but I'm sure there's a lot more. I'm going to be coming up to Juniper Springs. I'm thinking toward the end of the day. It's my guess. I don't really know. Uh, yeah, but definitely got water on my mind. I definitely would like some water. Thirsty. Uh, we'll just have to. I think I'm refrain from drinking out the pond, especially a stale pond that's just sitting and no flow. Like if I want to drink some uh, wilderness water, I prefer it to be from a stream, personally. As far as getting sick, hey, if you get sick, you get sick. I think I handle being sick very, very well. I recover quickly. I don't think I'm susceptible to dying or something. I've withstood the fever out in the woods before. It's just not that big of a deal to me. And it's that which does not kill you makes you stronger. That's a big part of my life. And I'm just not afraid of going through a little pain because it really does make you stronger. Because once you get sick off of a parasite, then you become immune to that parasite afterwards. So you get sick and it's painful, but then you're stronger afterwards because you're not going to get sick like that again. So basically, you can start drinking out. You can drink out the. Some people drink, you know, the water straight up, and those are people who've got the right gut bacteria, flora. I'm not a scientist, but they're used to it. If you do it all the time, your body adapts. You know, but I'm like most people where I'm usually drinking treated water, so my stomach may not be adapted. But the only way to get it adapted would be to get sick. Um, I think getting sick's part of life. It's part of it's supposed to happen, and I don't think you should be afraid of it. I think there's, I think germaphobes have a real problem on their hands, and they what they fear the most is getting sick, and they get sick all the time. And so, like, they're just they're like, it's totally unintelligent way of solving your problem, because you're using way too much antibacterial soap and bleach and disinfecting everything all around you all the time. You're scared to talk to anybody or shake their hand. You're scared to eat after somebody else. Well, your body's not adapted or adjusted to life, and then those people are sick all the time. I always notice Howie Mandel; he's sick all the time. I don't know if he's as bad of a germaphobe. I think maybe they just needed some education, or if they never even have heard about bacteria. I'm actually gonna switch this around just so y'all can see the trail. So I was just talking about Howie Mandel, yeah, and he's a germaphobe. So long story short, don't be afraid of. I think what I was saying is, if you had never even heard about germs, or if you had grown up in the 1500s or whatever, and you didn't even know germs existed, those people wouldn't even probably have a problem. There would be no issue. So the fact that they went to school and somebody told them there's these little organisms, and they call it some dirty name like germs, it just sounds like I've noticed that with humans is, we certain words just have a bad meaning, or have more of a negative meaning to them, just the way the word sounds. Germs, and it's just considered to be disgusting. And I think things should be disgusting, like, there's lots of, disgusting things, poop or whatever. It's considered disgusting, and there's probably a good reason for it, because you probably shouldn't, be putting fecal matter all over yourself or nothing like that. There's certain kinds of germs. Most germs, 99.9% of germs are good. Yeah, there's a 0.00 whatever one that are bad and they cause problems. And there's it's a part of life, and you do have to watch out for it. There are diseases and bad germs to shield yourself from, but in general, I say just live your life. If you come down with something, come down with something. All right, so that was the long story short. And so, yep, just walking the trail. Another fun fact is I'm going barefoot now. I really feel like my shoes, they're like Pumas. Somebody gave them to me. They're a size too big. They're not really hiking shoes. And my feet and legs were really sore yesterday. And I feel like they were abnormally sore. Like I think it was a problem with the shoes. Like, if you have nice, good, comfortable hiking boots, you probably be able to walk a lot further than if you're wearing some really crummy shoes like I am. So I just took them off. This trail is nice and wide. You can kind of see the ground. It's fairly, like, clean. I mean, you can see everywhere you're stepping. There is cactus out here. I don't think there's going to be any right on the trail. I haven't stepped on any, but it is something for me to watch out for. That cactus can be nasty stuff. It gets into you, and then it's like its teeth go the opposite way when you're trying to pull it out. So you're just having to really rip yourself apart to get shit out of you. So been there, done that. And there you go. Part of toughening and hardening yourself is to like, my feet are probably not very tough and not very hard because I normally wear shoes. But this is the only way to toughen them is to take the shoes off. And I take baby steps. I'm not gonna start walking through the desert without some sort of shoe, with all the spines and needles and everything. I think that's a little crazy, but this is definitely not bad walking, and I feel like it's more ergonomical to walk without shoes for some reason. I don't understand the science. I think that's better for you to walk without shoes if you can, but there obviously are times where you just need shoes. Maybe pavement's real hot in the middle of the day somewhere. You need something, or like I said, the desert. I think it's ridiculous that they make you have shoes and shirt on to go into stores. Like, who made up that rule, and why? And I just think that we should be free to do what we want. And if you want to go up the store barefoot and with your shirt off, who who are you to tell me I can't do that? I just don't. Why make up these senseless rules? I understand the need for rules when they're needed, but I can't see a need for that rule. Some people have chosen a lifestyle of going barefoot, and I admire that, and I understand it. Like right now, my feet are firmly planted into the soil. Firmly. They're I don't even know. I can't word what I'm trying to say, but they're immersed in nature, I guess. My feet, and they got the dirt right on them. This is the way this is normal. This is natural. We've been walking this planet for probably millions of years. I mean, if you want to count the time when we were monkeys or whatever, we've been walking this planet barefoot. So there's definitely something to it. I think it's worth a try. And actually, it's more minimalist. I'm a hardcore minimalist. I would like to go without shoes. I just think that there's too many instances where I need them, especially on the road, especially places with nails and glass. And most importantly is to get into the stores and stuff, because a lot of times they make you have shoes and all that. So basically, my shoes I'm carrying with me are just dead weight in my pack, which bothers me a little bit because I don't like to carry stuff around that I'm not ever using. But I'm keeping them for future need. I'm headed to the Dollar General at Salt Springs. That's my next destination. No idea when I'll get there, or if I'll get there. Didn't have any issues with wildlife last night. I slept okay. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep, but I got some. I got enough. I feel fine. I feel great, really. I just don't think I needed much sleep. The bugs were not that bad. It got a little cold last night, so once it gets a little cold, the bugs go away. They were out for about an hour, though. But they're not really, compared to most of Florida, they're not that bad here, which I was a bit surprised, being wilderness, but it's definitely kind of drier out here. You just tell this area is dry, and I don't know, it's just like sandy, and it's just not real swampy. A lot of pine trees, and it just seems like a drier area. So yeah, just kind of wanted to give you an idea what the Ocala national forest is like. This is what I think they call like scrub hammock or something, because you'll go through different types of ecosystems when you're walking this trail. Like some are more jungly, and some are like straight pine trees and grass, and then some are prairie. This kind here, I don't know what it's called, like scrub hammock or pine scrub. It's definitely all over this type of you got these kind of trees. I'm just gonna guess it's a scrub oak. I'm not a plant expert. I wish I had more knowledge on plants, but still learning. It's just hard to learn plants when you're out here because they're not labeled. And one of the best things to do is take a picture, and then when you get online, look it up. I've had pretty good success doing that. Usually I'll do that when there's a plant that's got some sort of berry on it or nut, and I want to know if it's edible. Last time I did that was the rosary pea. Really cool looking bean on it. It's got like a red and black pea, I guess, and it looked like something you would use for making beads out of. It has like a nice shiny bead looking thing, and so I looked it up and found it on the internet, and it turns out to be a deadly pea. So decided not to eat those because of that. I never eat anything I don't know what it is, but I don't know if there's that much shit out here to eat anyway. There's the harder palms, so you can find those for sure, but you're gonna need a machete to get into them. It's kind of wondering what the black bears eat out here, especially this time of year. I imagine in summer there's berries, but I was thinking they might be kind of hungry this time of year. They might need some fresh meat to nibble on. Haven't had any sign of bear life. I did see one pile of bear crap, and that's all I've seen. I haven't seen any tracks or nothing. I don't think I'm in a highly active bear area right this second. Buck Lake. So I think they used to call this Bum Lake because a lot of the homeless lived here. So one thing with walking the Florida National Scenic Trail, there's like 3 different ways I can go. Wow. It's kind of open out there. I kind of want to explore that. But the orange markers on the tree versus the blue, it's the orange. I don't know what the blue is. I've seen the blue a couple times. Must be a different trail. I'm going to just peek over here real quick just to see what this is. This isn't my route. Just a big opening here. Now, if you're trying to get away from mosquitoes, you're better off coming out to a place like this where it's nice and open. A lot of footprints. Kind of a prairie, I guess. You can still hear a road. It's probably a Highway 19. It's hard to get away from the sounds of the road. I personally really hate traffic noise. I hate loud cars, trucks. I hate all that shit. It's noise pollution, and they're saying that it's killing off a lot of species of like birds and stuff that get like PTSD from the noise. from all the traffic everywhere. And I kind of feel like we get a little PTSD from it as well. I know I certainly don't like it. I prefer nice and quiet and peaceful, and I'll be happy when we all go to electric cars and they'll be a lot quieter. I don't get the whole need for all this, you know. All right, back to the trail. Buck Lake. I don't know if I've been to Buck Lake before. I just remember reading about it a long time ago. They were calling it Bum Lake because all the homeless, but I think they clear them out of here. Could be a good area to find some water. I'm really hoping for like a water fountain. That's what I was hoping. He'd come up to some sort of, some sort of water spigot or something. If I have to, like I said, I'll just have to pull some water out of. I don't think I'm going to pick Buck Lake. But there's definitely a lot of streams. And, definitely one that's coming from a spring I'll feel a lot better about. There actually ain't nothing better than spring water. It's got all the minerals and good stuff for you. That's all I ever buy is spring water. Even my little bottle here says spring water on it. I don't trust nothing that what they say on the packaging. I don't trust nothing in this world at all. Like, I don't know, anything they try to tell you, like recyclables. I don't think they actually do anything with the recyclables. I think they just take it to the same landfill they take the other stuff with. But they just tell you they do something with it, and people feel like they're recycling. Of course, I don't know that. I'm totally talking out of my ass, but I just feel like that's what's going on. And I feel like that with almost everything they try to tell us. I don't trust very much anything. It doesn't mean that I believe something's up. I just don't trust that there's not something up. So, I basically don't believe nothing until I see it. It don't mean that, I think that like this didn't really come from a spring, but how do I know? It just, you definitely can taste it. But I'd much prefer to actually drink out of a spring, just a real spring coming out the ground. And it'd be awesome if I could find one out here. That's really what I need right now. This really puts my whole philosophy of when you need something to the test, that it just pops up out of nowhere kind of magically. It might just seem that way, but it definitely, it's as if there's a lot of people call it a god or whatever, but whenever you really need something, and it's like I'll just walk up and there'll be a big fresh gallon of spring water just sitting in the middle of the trail, like magically. And I'm like, whoa, how did that happen? And I'm telling you, it happens all the time for me. So I do put a certain amount of trust in that I'll be okay. Like, I didn't bring enough water for this trip, but one way or the other, I'll be okay. I might get sick as a dog, but I'll survive. Well, there was that sign for Buck Lake, and we never came up on a lake. I think it's to our right. Probably going to end this video, but I was kind of going to try to show you the lake. I think maybe if I had went the Blue Trail, I might have went to the lake. but I can kind of see a clearing to the right. We've already been to the left. Looked out there, it's kind of just that prairie. Beautiful morning though. Feels good out here. Started off a little chilly, but I feel great now. Don't just get walking, get the blood going, and then you're happy that it's actually a little chilly. You know, it's chilly weather's the best time to go hiking. Nothing like having that good crisp air. Oh, that's another thing. Is the air out here is just so clean. It's just, you can just breathe how clean the air is. Like, I remember last time I was out in this forest, I was out here for like 2 weeks, and then I think I went into town to go watch the Super Bowl, and I think I went to Fruitville, or if I remember right, and I could just smell all the exhaust fumes of all the cars, and like immediately I got a headache. And so it was just like so clear how polluted your everyday lives are, you know, when you're in a bustling city. And so definitely one of the benefits to being out here is that good air. I think air is underrated. And people would say, oh, it's cheap, it's free, who cares? Well, it's important to me. You know, I think that just for your well-being and happiness, breathing in good fresh air. When you're out here in the woods and you got all these trees producing all that oxygen, you don't have any pollutants out here. Nobody's come in and destroyed this place yet. I'm sure they will, but it hasn't happened yet. So enjoy it while it lasts. Well, doesn't look like we're coming up on Buck Lake to me. Might have just passed it. I really think it's to our right, though. So I was gonna call this video, I guess. I'll definitely be doing more videos, more trying to give y'all an idea what Ocala is all about. You know, I think this part really shows you what the majority is like. The majority is like the scrub hammock type environment, and it's, you know, I think that's going to be the majority of it. And then you're going to run into different, you know, other spots as well. There's going to be some really beautiful spots, really beautiful. So better save some batteries so I have time to film it. Somebody needs to clear that tree out the trail. Alrighty. Until the next video, I'll see y'all then. Hobo Mackie out.